John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Thanks again for tuning in. I've got another broadhead test for you. And if you follow my channel much, you know that I love to test all kinds of broadheads. I mean, I love to test the whole gamut. From the ultra expensive, I've tested heads that just one head costs a few $100s, to the ultra inexpensive budget broadheads. And a while back when I was doing that, I was just checking out some broadheads on Amazon. I came across Deepower and started testing their stuff. And if you've watched my channel, you've probably seen a bunch of Deepower tests, and some of them have just been exceptional. How they do what they do for the price they do it at is just, it's just crazy. Well, that's what I'm going to be testing today, is another Deepower. Now this is their 1.5 inch, 125 grain 3-blade head. Previously I tested the 100 grain, but now I'm going to be testing their 125 grain and see how it performs. So for this test, I'm going to be using all the protocol that I'm doing for 2022, and for a detailed description of the test, as well as the scores of how this head performs in each of the tests, you can read about it in the description right below this video. If you're on your phone, you just click on the title of the video and then the description will come up there and you can see how it did. But let's zoom on in here and check out this 125 grain, 1.5 inch 3-blade broadhead by Deepower. Oh, and for the shooting, I'm going to be using my Bowtech CP28 at 72 pounds, and I'm using my Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shooting, but then I'm going to be using the Bishop Fat Eliminators for the really hard impact shots. Let's check out this Deepower. So here's a good look at this 125 grain model of this head. You know, I really liked the 100 grain model. I was impressed with how well it performed. And man, for the price, these things are just amazing. Like this one in 125 grain is, they come in a pack of 6 and they're like $2.83 per head. The 100 grain right now on Amazon come in a pack of 12 for the same price. So it ends up being like $1.40 a head. That's just amazing. I laugh because I don't know how they do it. I mean, the 100 grain performed well. I'm eager to see how this does. So let's break it down a bit. First of all, you notice the cutting diameter is huge. It's 1.5 inches. Not many fixed blade, 3-blade heads have a cutting diameter of 1.5 inches like that. It's got this blade over shaft design to shorten the overall length of the broadhead, and yet it's not considered barbed because the angle they approach, the shaft is not less than 90 degrees. Okay, it's kind of angles back that way. The blades are stainless steel. They're 0.039 inches thick of 420 stainless steel. The tip has this hardened steel, really chunky tip. Okay, that's like a beefy tip right there. And then the ferrule is a 6061 aluminum. Now typically I'm not a big fan of using 6061 for a ferrule, but look how short that ferrule is and look how thick it is. So with it being so short and so thick like that, you could probably make it out of plastic and it's going to hold up well. Okay, but I don't know. We'll have to see when I do more of the tests. But I think they'll probably be able to get away with it. It's wider than the 100 grain, so they put the extra weight into a beefier ferrule, and I really like that. So love the overall cut size and love that chisel tip, and like a lot of things about the design. Really eager to put this head to the test and see how it performs. $200. It penetrated 6.5 inches. 200. It penetrated through 62 layers. There are no signs of wear whatsoever after 3 shots through the MDF. And it's still in great shape after 2 more shots through the steel plate. The tip got maybe a little bit less pointy, but otherwise in perfect condition. And here you can see the really nice holes that it makes in the steel plate. Now, they're not like the triangular cutout holes that you see in some heads, but they are really wide because of that 1.5-inch cutting diameter. Now here's the head after all the durability tests. So it's gone through the MDF and the steel plate, and then it's stuck into the concrete pretty well. It even broke my arrow. Okay, the little footer at the end of my almost indestructible arrows got broken there, and it mushroomed just a little bit. That doesn't happen very often. But man, this head is still in incredible shape for this price. Gosh, to go through that kind of a durability test, and I mean, its tip is still pointy. The blades, even after going through the steel plate, are still very sharp, in really excellent shape. This really surprised me. Very, very impressed with the durability of this 125 grain model. So what'd you think of this Deepower? Man, I tell you, what's not to love about this Broadhead, right? You can check out the score sheet and see how it performed in each of the areas that matter to you the most. But listen, for a good flying, huge cut, deep penetrating, and extremely durable head for under $3, I mean, man, this is really hard to beat, okay? It's worth a look. I hope they keep up the quality control because, man, these things are really amazing. They'd be amazing at any price, but for under $3, they're just in a class by themselves. So great job, Deepower. Keep up the great work. I look forward to seeing more things that you come out with in the future.